Hi and welcome to the back office on the road. I'm just checking our microphones on, sometimes that's left off. And today I'm in a car with Fergus, and he's going to ask me a question and I'm going to attempt to answer it. I don't know what the subject is. It could be on a random subject, it could be science, it could be ethics, it could be history, it could be my understanding of the reproductive cycle of frogs. So Fergus, fire away. Ask me a question.
Okay, so we'll think of the first random sciencey question we can think of. So, what is your opinion on multiverse theory?
The multiverse theory. Now, I'm guessing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that's the theory that there are multiple universes, all in parallel.
Of every possible
and conceivable outcome.
Difference, even at a particle level.
Yeah, so it's quite random. So I'm just looking around. So even if that leaf blows a tiny bit to another direction in another universe, there's like billions of them, just where the only thing affected is that leaf.
Yes.
And that goes the same for everything. You know, now I'm putting it in that context, it sounds really unlikely, doesn't it? It sounds like, I actually really believe that the multiverse theory is fine. And you think, yeah, they could be. But now I'm saying that, it sounds like total tripe. It sounds like you'd need the universe would be incredibly complicated, the rules of the universe, the physics involved, to be able to allow that to happen. So I want to offer another question, and I think be careful the microphone's hitting something, it might make a noise.
If it's not.
Alright. I would offer another suggestion that because the multiverse concept is so complicated and again would, you know, I know infinity's a large number, but that would be a very huge amount of infinity in terms of permutations, wouldn't it?
It's 10 to the power 120.
It's not actually infinite though, is it? There is a max.
It's 10 to the power 120.
So have they worked out all of the...
Yeah, the number of particles.
All the particles and then all the different combinations of that particle could be. So it's a huge number.
Yeah.
Now, another school of thought says that perhaps we're in a simulation because it's simpler to just simulate this from our perspective, and then we can you don't have to worry about it so much. So like in a video game, you only have resolution on what you can see, and all the things you can't see don't really exist. Perhaps a bit like a Star Trek holodeck. And they tried to devise a proof for that. Did you know what that is? How they tried to... their proof for it. Their proof that it cannot exist is due to complex numbers. Okay, so can you think of any complex numbers, Fergus?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Pi?
Well, yeah, okay, that's fair.
E?
Yeah, okay.
What, can you think of any others? There are a few more. Okay, so anyway, the idea is that pi or e, they've never worked out an end to that number. So they were saying if we were in a simulation, where you point the camera, if we were in a simulation, we would discover that there would be a finite hard stop. You know, like after 128 digits, you wouldn't be able to calculate it anymore. But because we can, therefore it proves that we're not in a simulation. So.
Oh, right.
So what's your view on the multiverse theory?
Well, it depends which one. It depends, the one you described is one, but there are others which actually predict that every single law of physics can be different in certain different multiverses. So you've not only got the iterations for all of the different particles and what happens to those particles, but you've actually got the iterations of the laws that affect them as well.
Yeah, so it's an even worse problem, right? Even
worse.
Okay.
So, and there's another theory that they don't all exist in parallel. Yeah, either they all exist in parallel, in which case every conceivable outcome has happened somewhere, just by the nature of it. But there is the exact same outcome also happening for things up until a point. I don't know. So, it's very difficult.
So,
to think.
What's the conclusion for this? It's
probably not worth thinking about.
It's not worth thinking about right now. Let's leave.
Let's leave that for now.
And we can worry and ponder on the price of Big Macs and petrol. Simple things in our daily lives. So yeah, so if you've got any views on the multiverse, please leave them in the comments, and if you'd like to hear more inane ramblings, please click subscribe. Thanks for watching.